Ladies and gentlemen, it's my pleasure, on behalf of People First of Canada, Community Living Ontario, and LiveWorkPlay, to welcome you to the end of an era and our special presentation of the Freedom Tour. My name is Keenan Weller. I'm the co-founder of LiveWorkPlay, a local organization supporting people with intellectual disabilities to enjoy a good life in the Ottawa community. We are proud to be hosting this event tonight as the local English language affiliate of Community Living Ontario, federation of 112 associations and 12,000 members across the province. As many of you may know, Community Living Ontario has been one of the persistent and consistent voices for the closure of institutions, a process that began in 1987 and has been supported by all provincial governments since that day. This has required leadership at multiple levels and the cooperation of all parties in the legislature. It's also involved a lot of hard work by many people in this room. I've made a quick note of some of the organizations that I think I represented. If I have missed your organization, please do shout out. But I noticed we have Christian Horizons, Citizen Advocacy, L'Arche, OCL, Ottawa Carbon Life Skills, Horizon Emploi, Association pour l'Intégration Sociale, Solutions, TCE, Total Communications Environment. We've got representatives from the local office of the Ministry of Community and Social Services, Mary Jellinek here. Formerly of that office, Susan Torrey, who is certainly very involved in the Facilities Initiative and helping people transition to community. And Marie-Josée Lacroix from Minister Mayor's office. I asked tonight actually that we give a special tip of the hat to the current Minister of Community and Social Services, Madeleine Mayor, who is today taking part in a special end of an era ceremony at the Legislature in Toronto. The closure of institutions has not been without many difficult challenges. And I think we must acknowledge Madame Mayor for her clear and unequivocal message that the closure of Ontario's institutions was about doing what is right, not what is easy or convenient. We must also note that for some individuals and families, the transition was a journey that brought with it many legitimate concerns and fears about the future. It was for many the only home they had ever known, and they did feel sad to be leaving. We are already hearing, however, some amazing positive stories of what life in community has meant for even some of the most senior of ex-residents. One that touched me the most is a story that was actually shared with me by Susan Torrey. It was of an older woman that moved out of the Rideau Regional Centre into a small house with roommates. Like any house in the community, there was a refrigerator in the kitchen. Her refrigerator, with her food inside. One of her favorite activities in the early days and weeks of enjoying her new home was to go to the refrigerator, open the door, smile, and laugh. It was a celebration of just one of the basic freedoms that we all take for granted. And I think that's a beautiful way of capturing what deinstitutionalization is all about. These transitions don't just happen, they are a lot of work. And as I said, we have many agencies and individuals in this room to thank for that. At the national level, the Canadian Association for Community Living and the People First of Canada organization have come together to form a joint task force on deinstitutionalization to shine a bright light on human rights and people with intellectual disabilities. The work of the task force reminds us that many institutions across Canada remain in operation. And here in Ontario, there's still lots of work to do in welcoming people as full citizens in our communities. An institution is not only a big building, it's any place in which people don't have or are not allowed to exercise control over their lives and their day-to-day decisions. The attitudes and practices of our society continue to control and limit freedoms and quality of life for people with intellectual disabilities. And with the closure of these institutions, that is really the next step to build a more welcoming community. Our history is filled with dehumanizing beliefs, with laws and attitudes that discriminated against gender, skin color, sexual preferences, to name a few. Many of these attitudes persist, but there has been much progress. The journey for inclusion for people with intellectual disabilities does not end with the closure of institutions. This is really just the beginning. Tonight we celebrate a clear step in the right direction. In just a minute or so, it's time to get to tonight's feature presentation, the Freedom Tour. This remarkable documentary started with a rally in protest of a decision by the government of Manitoba to invest $40 million into the Manitoba Development Centre, also known as the MDC. You will hear MDC mentioned many times in tonight's film. To make a long story short, like-minded individuals in Saskatchewan and Alberta literally jumped on board the grassroots campaign to to draw attention to the issue of the institutional warehousing of people with intellectual disabilities. And the results of that collaboration are what you will see with this movie. Please don't leave the theater at the conclusion of the Freedom Tour. It's less than an hour in duration. And following that, we're going to have a special guest presentation and then close out the experience with a 10-minute short film you won't want to miss. It's called Sheri Paul, and we're screening it with special permission from Anthony DeSalvo, who's the founder of the Sprout Film Festival in New York City. It's 10 minutes well spent, and I guarantee you will have a spring in your step when you leave. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for listening. I thank you for being in attendance. And last but not least, I thank the Mayfair Theatre for providing us this opportunity. I now proudly present to you the Freedom Tour.
To grieve our peers who died while living in Valley View, this circle of people is our gift to our friends whose hearts are with us right now. Forgive us because we do not like Valley View Center. Thank you for giving us a choice in life that we can be here and help those that need our help and want our help. Thank you for all the people that gathered around me and around the rest of us as we say goodbye to our loved ones.
We shall live in peace. We shall live in peace someday. Oh, deep, deep in my heart, and I do believe we shall live in peace someday.
It's a difficult film to applaud at the end, isn't it? I was going to suggest we take a moment of silence, but I noticed you all took at least a full minute of silence during the credits, and I don't think we need another one. Every time, that's the fourth time I've seen that movie, and it's no less affecting. And today I was just thinking about the sheer guts of the people that spoke out in that film and what they risked personally and emotionally to share that for the benefit of others. And it's really remarkable and reminds us all in our daily lives that there's amazing things going on every day. And the human spirit cannot be stopped. And speaking of someone with guts, I'm going to change gears a little bit, and we're going to have Jennifer Harris come up to the front to introduce our special guest. Jennifer has been involved with LiveWorkPlay from the beginning. She's tried just about anything we've thrown at you. And here she is today. We've thrown another thing at her, and she's going to try that too.
Okay.
Can we get some, oh yes. Here comes Adam flying in with the lights. Thank you, Adam. That's beautiful. Can you see?